what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing?
What's going on?
Pretty good. Can you hear me okay?
I can. I can.
Okay.
Everything
You know,
sounds pretty good.
I was kind of feeling that little intro music there. I'm not sure if you heard it or not. It kind of get a little vibe to it.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out how to use that on the countdown too, because that thing is
Okay.
smooth. Nice
Yep,
little
yep, yep.
jazz music going.
All
What's
right.
going on with
So
you?
nothing much, man. Just trying to be doing this Black Love live connection. I thought it'd be a great idea because in the Black Love relationship room, we have quite a few people looking for singles. I've been looking around and I've seen a lot of people that that love to get on the different dating groups and put this stuff out there. And I think it's starting to get a little bit more popular, I think, than some dating apps. So I thought it'd be a good
Right.
idea to bring people on, let them be live, let them put this stuff out there. People can see the
Okay.
mannerism, how they think, how they approach things, how they talk, and hopefully we can help someone connect with love and find someone that they are looking for.
That makes sense. I mean, when you brought the idea to me, I was like, okay, I like the idea. I know the direction you're going with it. So, you was talking about we're gonna try to bring some people on, talk to them, ask them what they're looking for. So,
Right.
with this being the first show, of course, everybody's gonna be a little afraid to call in into the show. But if you are interested in just talking with us, let's just talk about relationships, and then let's figure out what it is that you like. And you never know who may be. We got what 40 something thousand people in this group.
Right, exactly. Yeah, about 44,000. We're getting about 1,000 people a week, so
Okay,
it's growing
so
pretty fast.
if we're
People
getting
all over the world.
44,000 people, yeah, all over the world. If we got 44,000 people in this group, there's got to
Hmm.
be someone that you can find interesting. But they need to know your story. They need to know what it is that you're interested in, what you like, and
Exactly.
what you don't
Right.
like. And let's
Right.
talk about it. Let's discuss it here. And you never know who may call or who may be like, I'm interested in trying to find out more about that person. And it's not a
Hmm.
hookup show. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not
Right.
trying to make it, a weekend hookup. We want people to really genuinely get to know each other. And I think that's what's been missing for a while. Is just even
Exactly.
getting to know someone on a friendly basis. Um,
Hmm.
because sometimes you'll meet someone and you're like,
Uh-huh.
that person is really cool. But you
Right.
actually have someone yourself, or you may be married, but you like, you know what? That's a pretty interesting person. And I might know somebody that might be interested in taking this person out or this guy out and hooking people together.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Give me one second. I think we got a comment before we get started. Um, okay. Okay. Here we go. So yeah. So again, we got a couple people sign up. Just waiting for some people to come in. Again, if you guys are out there, you're listening. You're single. You want to put yourself out there. This is definitely a good platform to do it. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're not trying to make anyone look bad. You know what I'm saying? We just want to make sure that we connect people with love. And I think that one thing I thought about too is sometimes people look at distance, and there's people all over the world, on in this dating group, but
Mhm.
sometimes I think we don't need to limit ourselves, because
Right.
you might find a person that's gonna really love you if you just open your mind. And sometimes this can be an issue. I do get it, but I just look at philosophy of you just never know. Don't count anything out. Be open to anything, and don't think about two things too early. And you haven't even worked their way yet. People always say shut things down before we even get started, and just be open to just let's just see. You never know. You never know.
Well, and here's my thing. I definitely believe in love, but instead of just trying to find love instantly, try to find someone that you can get along with. Find someone
Yeah,
that you
that's a
got some
challenge.
interest. You know, find
Right.
someone that you find some interest in, and
Hmm.
get to know them, and then see if love finds its way. Because sometimes we try to find love in a matter of 3 weeks. It doesn't happen that way. There are occasions that that does happen. But
Right.
when you try to rush something way too fast, it turns out terrible. Because there's a lot of times people get into a relationship and then at the end of the year, they realize they've gone through 4 or 5 relationships. They never
Hmm.
taken the time to really get to know a person, their
Right.
ins and outs. And
Right.
I heard somebody mention that today, man. I heard someone mention that, there's like 4 different phases of things that you got to go through, as far as how that person do when things are going great,
Hmm.
how that person do when things are not going great, because
Right.
people attitudes and stuff change when the circumstance changes.
They do.
So when they have money, they're a certain way. When they don't have money, they're a certain way. But so, and the other two was the same with you. When you have money and treating that person well, how do they act? And then when you fall on hard times, how do they act?
Right.
Those are some
True.
phases that you need to figure out before love really comes into play. So Um,
Yeah.
Tell people a little bit about you, though, Anthony. I mean, Hollywood. Tell people a little bit about you. I mean, the reason why I say that, I need to do the same. We're looking at bringing
Uh-huh.
this show, but people need to know who we are.
Okay. So I tell you what, I think this would be a great start. The interview questions that we're going to ask.
Hmm.
Uh, Interview me. This is a great way to start. So
Let me
we
see.
can.
Okay. Well, tell me one of the questions first. Now, while I'm pulling them up, what's one of the
Okay.
questions that we would end up asking people, and then you answer that question. I'm gonna find some.
Okay.
Come on.
Who are you? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Okay, I
How
got
old are
it right
you?
here. I'm gonna act like I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm gonna act like I
Okay.
don't know. First of
Okay.
all,
All right.
all
I'm
right.
ready.
So
Okay.
we'll learn how to do. Okay, first up on the line, people. What we have here, we have a young man by the name of Anthony. This is how we're gonna be doing it when people call in. Okay,
Mhm.
Anthony, tell us a little bit about you. I see your name is Anthony. Fill me in from there.
Okay. 53 years old, divorced, 3 kids, 2 girls, 1 boy, and was married for 18 years.
Okay.
Together for 24. When I first met her, she was a senior in high school,
Okay.
and that's during that summer we stayed together, and then she went off to college. Stayed together 4 years, doing a long distance relationship, two
Okay.
hour 2 hour away. So I had a problem with doing anything long distance or anything like that.
Okay.
Other than that, pretty I think pretty stable. At least I try to be. I was
Okay.
on my last job for over 20 years, and I
Okay.
ended up kind of moving to a different direction. As far as working, but I do love stability. I'm a planner, and I just love the whole idea of love. Both of my parents was married, and they stayed
Okay.
together till they died. And I stayed. I kind of realized one day I was sitting thinking that a lot of people, really everybody in my family, my mother comes from a family of 10, my father comes from a family of 5,
Hmm.
and every last one of them was married. So I've been around marriage a long time. Being in a committed relationship doesn't scare me or bother me or anything like that. But that's basically it. What other questions do you have?
All right. One of the other questions that I know we had on our list. What is your number one go-to love song?
Mm, my number one go-to love song.
I know you got one,
Okay.
or
So when you say that,
you might have three or four.
3 or 4 love song.
Hmm.
Um, Computer Love by Zap Rogers. Can you? Yeah,
I got you. I
yeah, I
got you.
love that song, man. Can You Stand the Rain? By New
Okay.
Edition.
No addition.
I'm gonna say
Now you didn't have to name
love
four. I
song.
just saying, I figured you had about three or four.
Yeah. Well, when we get to number 3, I'm gonna say everything R. Kelly. That's all. That's about all I can say because he got a ton of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
yeah,
get that. I get that.
yeah.
One of the other questions that we were going to ask is now let me ask you this: what are
Uh,
you looking for in a relationship?
Ooh, that's a good one. I know some ears are open now. Okay, so I'm looking for someone that understand how to compromise, loyalty, dependability. Someone that is an encourager, supporter. Someone that knows how to compromise and not self-centered.
Okay.
Those things are very important to me. And of course, need to believe in God. And I want to say communication. Everybody says communication, but I just say that at least if we can communicate in a way we can understand, we can connect. Connection is a big thing for me because um, I just kind of learned for myself, just understanding that there's a lot of people that's married and it's together in relationships, and
Hmm.
they are not connecting. Um,
Gotcha.
at all. So that's important. Meaning that you just love being around each other, doing the simple stuff. Y'all just enjoy being around each other. You listen to each other, and that's another thing too. I think as a man, it's hard to find women that's going to actually listen. Well, I said not listen for us tell her what to do, but
Hmm.
like if I have something going on in my mind, I want to talk about something. She's going to actually listen to me,
Hmm.
and I know that she cares, and she's going to let me get what I have to feel out. I think it's one of the biggest challenges with men. I believe that's very, very hard to find. It's very rare that you can feel comfortable going to your lady talking. So that guy has to be there for me too.
Okay. Okay. Um, there was another question that I had. I did hear you mention about you know being a Christian
Hmm.
or religion. Is that something that's really extremely important to you?
Extremely important because if Ben I want to get married again, I do believe that marriage comes from the Bible.
Okay.
And when they talk about being equally yoked, we gotta have the same belief system, or it doesn't work. Um, but I want to say it doesn't work. But I did make one couple that was. I met one couple one time. I'm thinking, how the hell y'all do that? But they've been together now probably like about 30 years. So I don't
Yeah,
know. You
sometimes
may some people
the
work.
opposite attract. I mean, sometimes, a lot of times the opposite attract, but things that makes them so different is what kind of keeps them together at the same time.
Yeah. But I also think I noticed that both of the people say they got different belief system, but they don't go to two different churches or worship. They just don't go to church. They just say, I believe in this or he believes in that, but they don't go to anything. So I don't know. But yeah, it's important for me because of whenever things get rough, are we going to pray for each other? Are we going to pray together?
Right.
Um, and one of us believe and one of us don't. I just don't see how it's going to work. I just don't.
Got you. So let me ask you this: how do you think the best way to deal with conflict? Because you're always gonna have it in every relationship. You're gonna have some issues that you guys are gonna bump heads. How do you,
Yeah.
how have you handled it in the past, and how you handle it differently now that you're older?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think that how I handled in the past, but I think about a lot of things I've done as I got older. A lot of things I probably would take back. I'm going to
Hmm.
say probably 9% of everything I've probably done, to be honest with you. Because some days I just sit thinking, like, you know what? Put yourself in that person's shoes. How you felt? Was that right? And sometimes we do stuff because of feelings. But now I look at it as I want to avoid conflict as much as possible. I would rather talk about things. I don't want to argue about anything. Um, now, granted, you can be angry about some things, of course, but sometimes you just need to just um, take a step back and
Right.
come back. Because sometimes when you throw certain things out when you feel it, you never know how it's going to affect the other person.
Hmm.
And then sometimes I realize too, sometimes it's not with what you say, sometimes also with or combination with how you said it that can
Right.
set the other person off.
Right.
Combination of how you said it, and where you said it. So now I just try to like, hey, I want to find someone that knows how to talk out things. They don't want to argue either. And again, it's only human. You can be upset, of course. I
Hmm.
think that from anybody, I don't care if you're Christian, whatever, everybody got a side to them that that rah rah side. But at the same time, it's one thing you have to really learn how to like. You know what? I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna just try a different approach, and it takes challenge. It takes practice. So this time, I say that my next relationship, we're not gonna argue. I don't want anyone that's gonna be arguing all the time. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get through it, and because sometimes what you say can really destroy a lot of things. Sometimes it's inner stuff and self-esteem and different things, insecurities that people are dealing with, and you say something to even trigger that even more, and becomes a cycle, and it affects
Right.
people mentally. I think so. That's why I don't want to. I don't really want to go that route.
I got you. I got you. Because I've heard people that say that they've done that. That they got triggered by something, and it wasn't necessarily the person that said it. It was something in their past
Right.
that caused them to go off in that
Hmm.
particular situation. So you're saying you
Right.
would try to do things differently now by talking about it, right?
Yeah, but I also I got to say this real quick because, like, I got to be honest. My ex-wife, she was very upfront whenever she was upset about something, wanted to say something, but sometimes I would avoid it. Why? And this is very important because I think women need to hear this. Sometimes it depends on who you feel comfortable with and how you want to say it. If you don't feel comfortable, and we feel like that, what we're finna tell you is gonna make things worse, then sometimes we're not gonna say anything. At
Right.
least that's how I feel. Because I got two options. I can tell you the truth, but I know that when I tell you the truth, it's gonna make stuff a lot worse. Or I cannot tell you everything. And I realize we might get to a lot milder, the bumps will be a lot milder than, but people say, let them choose that, whatever. I mean, that's just how I look at it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show. Are you? Because I was about to open a can on that one, but you're right. You're right.
Right.
I think sometimes as men we have a habit of doing that. We decide to not mention certain things to make the road a little more easy at that moment in time.
At the
But
moment time, right.
and that's we rationalize that in our head. But
Right.
a lot of times women to go, that won't fair to me. I didn't know the whole story. And then
Right.
we, as protectors, we're thinking that we're doing the right decision by not telling you the whole story. We're just trying to get through it. So
But
I get.
I got to say something about it real quick, about the whole story thing, because sometimes we want to know the whole story because we're curious. But I
Mhm.
learned that I start thinking like, you know what? I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know the details, because sometimes when you find out the details and it plays back in your head like a movie, Now it makes things worse because now you know all the details. Then you think like, damn, I was stupid here. Oh, that's how I don't know. It just me. I just think it makes things worse. So once I find out something, I was like, you know what? Save me, spare me that. Let me imagine whatever, but I don't want to know the details. I don't even know about what happened. And to ask why, did you like it, whatever the case might would be, it's like, I don't want to know all that.
Gotcha. All right. So if I asked your ex about you, you almost spit that one out when I said that. Okay.
Yep.
If I asked your ex about you, what would she have to say?
Which ex you talking about now?
Yeah, see?
My
now
ex actually told her ex-wife.
You pick.
Okay.
Well,
I go with the hard one. Uh-huh.
Okay, go with that's what I'm saying. Go with the hard one.
Okay. I'll probably go with the one that I'll probably go with my ex-wife. And the question is, what would she say about me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You mean good or bad?
What would she say about you? If someone says, "Oh, I met Hollywood. I think he's pretty interesting. I know we're cool, but I'm thinking about going out with him." What would she say? Would she be like, "Girl, you need to be careful. You don't know if you want to do that." Or you know what? I've seen him change over the years. I mean, we didn't have a great time, but whatever.
You remember Denzel Washington in American Gangster?
What part?
The part he was in there with what's the dude that his rival drug dealer dude, the dude that
yeah.
He sat down, he went to I can't remember what the guy name was, but it was Frank Lucas who was playing. He went down on the couch and the guy that Cuba Gooding Jr. was playing. I can't remember who the character was. He was a big drug dealer too. And he had said something, I think he got out of character, he said something kind of at Frank Lucas, Denzel Washington, and he just said, my man. I can see her saying, and just leaving it. Because you know what I'm saying, like it's a version like
I ain't gonna let you slide with that one. That can be interpreted in many different ways.
Okay, well, she knows. She knows.
She knows the younger man. What was her?
I think as a man,
what would that?
As a man, mean? What would her mean? You don't know what I know, probably.
Okay, there you go. I like that. Okay, see when you go, you don't know what I know.
So I get, but like in a kind of like in a fun, like, okay,
gotcha.
Okay. All right, I think we got one person coming in, Miss Mary. She's been waiting for her to get on the screen in the backstage. But yeah, so that would be probably that. I think as a man, character-wise, she knows a good person, but I don't think I was the best person or the best version of me, to be honest, when I was with her. Because I don't really believe that I should be blaming it, going around saying any bad things about her, because I realize that she's not a bad person. Right. And sometimes we got to understand, sometimes we can have something wrong with the person, or we might not like them. But it asks yourself the question, just because it's one thing they did wrong doesn't mean they're a bad person. She's not a bad person at all.
Gotcha.
So, I even read the comments on the screen.
What you got?
Let me see the comments. Miss Esther Cole said, she got her eyes open. Angela Green said, did you say TMI? Never got to bed. Okay, Miss Angela Green said, never go to bed angry. Chocolate, she said, choose battles wisely and agree to disagree when you can't come to a conclusion. I agree.
I agree.
Miss Mary, what happened to you? We saw you backstage, but you didn't I'm not sure you couldn't get your video right. Maybe she'll be back. So we got a couple people backstage. We'll bring them in a minute. But yeah, so I mean, just being honest, I think that she probably say some good things, and I'm not going to say I was an angel either. Right. She probably say some bad things, but I don't think it's going to be all bad.
Gotcha.
At least I hope not.
All right. So now, if someone was interested in getting to know you better, why should they take that chance of getting to know Anthony Hollywood?
Why should they take that chance of getting to know me? Because I think I'm frozen. Because I think I'm worth it. But I'm still froze?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not going to say that. What was the question?
Why should someone take a chance on getting to know you?
Oh, yeah, because I'm going to say I'm worth it, but that's what everybody's going to say, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, But I think I make a good partner. I think I can, because it's really about partnership at the end of the day. Regardless, I do think the man play a role in a relationship. I do think a female play a role in a relationship. But yeah, I think it's about yeah. I think it's about partnership at the end of the day. I think that's the hardest thing that people got to understand nowadays is it is a partnership, and it can shift to one person doing more this time and then that time. But that's what partnership is.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right. So, did you have someone backstage or not just yet?
I think you come back to the video.
Okay.
Um,
Now, I can't see the comments. They're actually too small on the screen, so I can't see them. Let me see if I enlarge this. All right. So, let me ask this question. Anybody that is in the comment section that would like to come up on screen, um, let us know. Comment that, hey, put a one or two in the chat to say, hey, I wouldn't mind being coming up on the screen. Put a one or two in the chat, and we know we'll try to bring you in. Um, so let me ask you this, Hollywood: is there an
okay.
age that works best for you? You took,
I'm going to
you took a,
say
a deep breath on that
yeah,
one.
yeah, because I'm probably going to say 40. I may go a little 38, maybe. Uh,
Okay.
but bottom on 53. Um, but 30 may be the youngest,
Okay. And what's the oldest?
and probably around 55.
55, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, yeah. And occasionally now there's some sexy women now that's right around the 60 range, but
Right.
that's yeah, yeah, that's on what's the word? That's on
Sliding scale, or
yeah, one by one basis. It just
right, right.
depends.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Now, how do you feel about as far as the finances in a relationship? Do you think this day and age, it should be, a lot of people want someone to take care of everything. Um, the younger folks do more of a 50-50, or they kind of believe in that. How do you see that?
That's a good question, man, because at the end of the day, when it comes to the whole thing, we make the biggest argument out of the smallest things. Technically, it's always going to be 50-50. I mean, because even in the working relationship, everyone is putting in their version of it. 100% equals 50% of your half, 50% of your half together make 100%. I do
Okay.
believe that the way people try to live nowadays, and when they talk about the man being 100% provider and stuff like that, it makes it a lot harder because how it was established in the beginning. Like when my father bought his place, it was he bought the house based off of his income. What he bought,
Hmm.
it wasn't
Hmm.
based off of two people income. So nowadays, when people get houses, when they go to the loan officer, they use both people incomes to qualify for this big house. He didn't do that. He just went and bought the house off of what he can afford, and
Right.
they started together.
Right.
Nowadays, most people are living in two separate places, and they have to come together. And she looked for him to make double to be able to cover and to be able to cover hers and his. In the beginning, how men did it was everything based off of his income, meaning that if he only had one car, that what he could afford, that's what he had one car.
Right.
It wasn't based off of two cars and two loans. I just think people, it's like a business. You gotta be smart about it. If you got
Right.
this amount of money coming in as a couple, you decide what you want to do, what you want to get.
Right.
If one person will take care of everything, the other person will be saving, but you can get all these bills
Hmm.
and expect for one person to do all the work. It makes absolutely it doesn't make sense. So I just think that nowadays the way people especially want men to do it is a lot harder coming from two separate households, not like it used to be when the man basically got the job, he got the house or whatever he can afford at the time and built from there, and she was with him when he built it. It's like nowadays it's just separate, so it's a lot harder. You can't keep the same concept, I don't believe,
Right.
and then go into the same thing. It just is not the same.
I got you.
If it's going to be that way, then it need to be the other way. It need to be the way it only makes sense for it to be built off his income. If he's going to pay for everything, not he pay for everything just because he is this. And if he can't afford it, then he can't afford it. You can't put two things in the equation and
Right.
double the expenses. They don't expect for him to afford it. It doesn't even add up.
Okay. Okay. Now, would it bother you that the lady that you met in your life,
Uh-huh.
She's a great woman. Everything about her, you enjoy it. Wonderful time. The only, I ain't gonna say the only thing, but you make a great income, and then, but she's making 30, 40, 50% more than the income that you make. Would that bother you as a man?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay.
It wouldn't. But now, the only thing it would make sure that I stay on my hustle to make
Right.
sure that I want to be. It's gonna make me want to be more. If that makes sense. It's gonna
Hmm.
make me want to keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Because deep down inside, I'm not comfortable with that.
Right.
But I also not insecure to say, okay, I accepted it for what it is right now because that's how I was with my ex-wife. She went to college. I didn't. I had a job. It was decent paying, but
Hmm.
unless you're an entrepreneur and you don't have no degree, more than likely a person with a degree is gonna make more money. It's just
Right.
most times how it is.
In most
So
cases.
in the beginning, right, it did bother me a little bit in the beginning, but again, you think as a team and don't think about it, don't let it bother the ego. But it's still in the back of my mind as a man, I'm thinking like, I know what I want to do, and I know how I want to do it, and I know what I would like to do, and I'm gonna still stay focused, try to get that done if I can.
Okay. Okay. Any kind of height requirement? Does she need to be about 6'6", 6'7" for you to be happy with her, or you know?
No, I don't have a height requirement. I mean, yeah, I can what is it? I can climb a tree.
Okay, gotcha. Now, listen,
But
I hear
no,
that. I hear that.
but
Y'all, did y'all hear that? I
but
heard that.
I don't want to be like Big Shirley and what's the dude on the Martin? Big Shirley and no,
Um,
not Tommy, but Cole.
uh, Cole,
Yeah,
Cole.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got,
I
I got
don't want to be like that either. But I
right,
don't know.
right.
I think your attitude is your height. I mean, not saying that it's your height, but I'm saying that you don't let anything like that phase you. Whether or not if this person's talking, you can't help that.
So you
Um,
base it pretty much on a person to person basis. Someone over here may be a size 6, you like it, whatever. Someone else may be a size 13 or 14 or 15, but it's how she wear it. Is that
Yep.
what you
I
saying?
don't have a preference
The way
for
you
his height,
compare herself.
size, complexion. I don't really because there's beautiful women in all colors, so and sizes. But I don't
Right,
have a no one can say, okay, I see his type. Like you can't really say that. Well, except for do have a standard for as like upkeep of how she may look,
right.
but no certain range of she gotta look like this, she gotta look like that. Not necessarily. I mean, there's some wiggle room in there.
I mean, there's some wiggle room. I get it. You're saying in a sense because me and we have these conversations in the barbershop.
Uh-huh.
There's times that we see a particular woman and we like, wow, okay, and we see another particular woman with the exact same size, same complexion, the whole nine, and it doesn't work for us. So it's really based
Right.
on the basis of that particular person.
Right.
Okay, okay. How can people find out how to get in contact with you if you wanted someone to reach out to you to find out more about you and the things that you're doing? How can they do that?
Well, for me, on Facebook is Anthony Hollywood Taylor.
Hmm.
Because go by the name of Hollywood, and also on the I have other pages, the Velvet Room, and then the Black Love Dating with a Purpose and Relationship Discussion page, which is the main page this group is on, and then I have a YouTube page. So you can always reach me through those, but my main page is Anthony Hollywood Taylor
All right, I got you. I
on
got you.
Facebook.
All right.
Yeah.
So now I see we have an Angela Green. I know she may not be in the background. Angela Green, would you be interested in coming up and give us your opinions and your thoughts on certain things? I'm just gonna put that out there. And we had a young lady on earlier today. If you're still interested in coming back on, just let me know because we have an open discussion right now. Until some people calling about relationships. We're definitely welcome to have you come on.
What? Hold on. What did Angela say in the comments? She said your energy fills the room, brother. You're a little fine, mama, or a thick madam. Right. Exactly. I agree. Yep. It's all about. I think like what Angela said is all about your energy. Um. So it feels fun to be on this opposite side because I also answer the questions, but I'd say, hey, shoot me some questions. And was that all 18 of them? We had an 18.
Might not have been all 18. I think it might have been, to be honest with you, because we really
Okay.
we answered a lot of questions. I'm gonna take a
Okay.
look. But tell people more about what your ideas for this show is while I take a look at these
Other questions.
questions.
Okay. So the idea for the show is again to put us out there for the people that are dating, where we put all these different photos, but we decided we want to do a live video where people can explain to them what you're looking for. Hopefully, make a love connection, and you just never know. You know, people could be from far away. People are always willing to relocate to find love. So the idea is to promote love and hope to help people to connect. That's the whole purpose of the Black Love Live Connections is help people to connect.
All right, that definitely works. That definitely works. Um, any
Come on the show,
questions?
Angela. Women, Angela. I'm telling Angela to come in the inbox so we can talk.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
and by the way, too, if even anyone listening with the comments, you guys are welcome to ask questions on the screen. We'll put them up.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'll
If you
put them.
have a question you want to ask, definitely put in the comment section, and we will read the question, and then we'll discuss it. And we will discuss it. All right. So, Anthony, your vision with this is really connecting people with to try to find love. That was the thing that you were
Correct.
pushing about when
Yes.
we talked. Okay. So, Angela
Right.
Green,
Exactly.
your energy fills the room rather than. Okay, you just read that one.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yep.
Anthony, take it away. Let me know whatever you what your thoughts are.
Okay. So, give me 1 second. Let me look at some questions. Make sure that give me 1 second. And we're probably going. If we don't go live every week, it'll be every other week.
Yeah, what we do
Whatever.
is we start planning it. Now I have someone, which is a male. He mentioned that hey, next week I definitely will come up. So whether we do it next week or I'll set him up from a week after, we'll put that together, and we may promote it. We may try to get some pictures of people that we're going to have on the show, and then kind of go from there.
Right.
Let's
I'm
see.
trying to think. Did you get all the questions? Why do you know you're ready for love? Okay. How about this one? How do I know I'm ready for love?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, how do I know I'm ready for love? Because of, I think we all, I think we're ready for love. I think we all think that we are. But I just think that it's good to kind of get over your insecurities. And you might not always get over them completely though, but just learning how to, um, deal with your own insecurities for one, and get through some of your past experiences to move on. They will never go away because they'll always be there,
Right.
and they'll always be challenging. But I think that's the one thing. And to be honest with you, I've been in a relationship really, man, ever since I was a kid, really a teenager. I always had a girlfriend. I always been in a relationship. So, just been in a relationship again. It doesn't bother me because I think that a relationship means stability. That means you're stable. You're not single means that you're not stable. At least love wise, you're not because you're still out there looking. You're dating, so that part of your life is not stable yet. So that's how I look at. Am I ready for love? Yeah, I'm ready to be stable. I don't like moving around. I like stability in my life. So
Okay.
I like
Okay.
knowing what's happening versus 'cause every time you go on a date, it's a different person, different attitude. It's just a lot of difference, and you try to date different people. There's no stability in it at all.
Right. Right. Now, with the group that you have with 40,000 people in it, have there ever been comments or statements that people have asked that you thought were good questions? Can you remember any? Now,
They
this
thought
was
were good questions as far as
a good question as far as, you know what, I never thought about that. Something that we can ask the audience.
I can't think of any right off hand because there's so many questions that we have to ask. But I would like to say this though, dealing with the black, the urban community and being a black man, I just noticed, I was telling you we ate breakfast this morning. I was like, man, I never heard of an Asian person talking about like an Asian woman talking about Asian men like all men ain't shit, or vice versa, a man talking about Asian man talking about Asian women. And you
Hmm.
said it because not like they're in their culture. And I thought about it. I was like, you're right. And that's a problem. We always put each other down and talk about each other. And we have to correct this because you can't solve anything like at this point where we're at right now of pointing a finger and saying that men that's talk about women and women talk about men. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's immature because you can't find love. Now you mad at everybody, or you made bad choices, so now you mad at everybody, or because you had trauma and insecurities in your childhood, you mad at everybody because you can't figure out how to get it right, or it starts with you. And that's why I realized myself is like I always start with me first, break myself down and figure out where I could have went wrong. And most of the time, you find out you find your faults, or every once in a while, I might say, you know what, I did all that I could do, and I don't think that was my fault. I did that. You know, I really analyzed it. Every once in a while, it might be something, but I try to find my fault in all of it. I try to, and I just think it's important. I think as us as a race, I don't feel like we're growing in the right direction. And then black marriages have really declined over the years. And people think the word marriage is not the word marriage. It's people. It's society. It's society. How we think and how we go about things that have changed, and we can't seem to figure out that this it ain't working. And there's a key things I believe that needs to be in place for us to be successful again, because it affects our kids, it affects our culture that we're not loving anymore. It affects everything.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Was there any other question that you remember?
Let's see. What do you call your exes? Okay. Handle disagreement. Matter of fact, that's Nicole. Is she listening? What will one of my exes say to you think? Um, I just want to see what she says, if she's still listening, because she has said something. She did little emojis. I don't want to know what she's gonna say. Um, yep. So anyway, I think we probably got like about a few more minutes, and we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. We
Yeah.
don't get
Yeah.
anyone in tonight.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like I said, this is just the first show. We know that we're gonna, just try to talk a little bit about what the vision is and what we're trying to do. Hopefully, over time, we'll go from one or two people being on that we have in the background or backstage. We have 20 or 25 people are waiting, so we can have a conversation with them. Because the only way you're going to be able to find love or relationships is meeting people, taking the time to get to know them, and working in the same direction.
Right, right. Angela Green said that, why do you think our people are souring towards marriage? I think because of I think that people are discouraged for relationships, and they for the marriages don't work. Um, they just blame everything on the marriage. And the other thing is that I think people are less and less every day actually following the Bible and really believing in God, and they took that out of it. And it kind of don't make sense, because then why you want to get married? And that's where marriage came from. It came from the Bible. People speak more worse against it than they actually do trying to understand it. At the end of the day, marriage is just about it's about the commitment. But within the marriage is a relationship that has to be maintained. And the marriage, it didn't break up because of the marriage. It broke up because of something happened in the relationship that was
Right.
about the commitment for the marriage. So
Right.
I don't know.
My
That's
take
just
on
how I look at it.
Yeah, my take is this. When I read it, what she said, what do you think the reason why? To me, I think a lot of it has to do with what people see, social media.
Hmm. Hmm.
They see people taking trips and going here and going there and taking pictures at restaurants and the whole nine. And everybody's not doing that.
Right.
But everybody's showing pictures like they're doing that. And that's not the real picture. So people are thinking that my life isn't happy, my life isn't good. I've got to be doing more because of what they see on social media.
Hmm.
They see these relationships like everything's perfect, like they don't have any issues or any problems. And they think that they're supposed to have the exact same thing. But the truth be told, a lot of times when you see somebody posting a lot, they're hiding something. It's like they're trying to present certain things. The best relationships I ever seen, I don't see a whole lot of the stuff on social media. I see a few pictures. I see a few videos. I might see a
Because they
few
ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. That's the whole point.
have
They trying
anything
to.
to prove to anybody. And then especially the ones that are not in relationships, they doing the most posting, with the drinks and this. Like life is so great. So the ones that are in a marriage and might have some issues and problems, sometimes they're ready to step out because they feel like they're not happy.
Mhm.
So
Based off
that's
what
how,
they seen.
based off what they
No,
see.
you're right.
What
I think you're exactly right about it, man. I think you're exactly right. I think that people are more um, focused on how the relationship looks on the outside and actually focus on the relationship.
hmm
Because you have nothing to prove to nobody. People posting these little pictures just to show everybody they're in love. And I sometimes look at people like, they're so insecure. Because you don't have to. What it don't everybody else don't really matter. Like, so what? Like
Right.
it don't really matter. And the people, like you said, that's really in love or been in really solid relationships, they're not ready to always say they post because we go, this happy moment every time because that's not life. It's okay every now and then, but and I'm not saying hide it for social media either because that's a totally different thing of actually
Right.
trying to hide it for social media. But I just think some people do it too much,
Yeah.
and but you don't have to let people know every single thing. You have to let people see y'all with y'all holding hands, so you
Yeah.
can show everybody that y'all love each other. So it don't. That's why I like. You know what? That's fake because you're not doing it because you actually love them. Either you're trying to put it out there so other people can see it to make you feel better, so you know what you love. But that's how I look at it.
Well, I'm a little old school. I definitely agree with everything you just said, but here's the old school part of me. When it got to the point was when people start saying to me, it's not real if they ain't got it on social media. It ain't a real relationship if they ain't got it on social media. I was like, what? Why does everything has to be on social media?
Because people knows it.
I
They
mean,
want to know.
they're like, no, nah, they ain't a real relationship because she ain't post no pictures of him. Now,
Right.
there are situations that I've seen that they're always talking about their man, their man, their man, and they'll show a hand and they show two drinks at the table, but you don't never show your man. So I'm like, I'm not saying you have to, but that's a little weird
So
too.
so so let's address that then, right quick. What is that about? Because when I see that, I see you trying to showboat. You're trying to show people that you got somebody,
Hmm.
and or trying to let one of your exes know that I'm taking now. This what you should have had, but now somebody's got it. I want to show everybody that I'm loved. I have a man. That's what it looks like, and that's what you're doing. I don't care what nobody say. That's what I see. That's what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. Be solid first, meaning get in your relationship, make sure that it's solid before you do all that bull crap, and then show their face. Like
Right,
what? And because the thing about it is two different things. Sometimes men are comfortable not showing their face. Why? Because sometimes they're doing other stuff anyway. To be honest,
right,
as a man, we already know that you doing other stuff. No, I want to have my face shown on social media. Why? Because he want his other chicks to see it. That's the honest to God truth. Now he might not like social media. Maybe that is so, but we still know there are dudes that do it. You don't know which one that he doing.
right,
So just when you're with somebody and you don't want your picture to be posted, if you love them, but don't be posting pictures because you want everybody else to see that you love. That's when that's fake love. That's why you are in and out. And I think that's why people look for certain things because they're looking to make it look like that they're love instead of actually being love. That's the problem.
right. I got you. One thing I think that to me, true love is dealing with the headaches and the issues. It's not always about the sunshine and the rainbows. It's like when things are really bad, do you really love this person enough to stay, try to work on
That's the
things,
challenge.
and
Yeah.
be patient?
Be
Because
patient.
and be patient because your parents, your aunt, your grandmothers, those that when you're doing some foolish stuff and they still love you,
Mhm.
that's that real love. It's hard to do that in a relationship, but back in the day, they kind of did that. Now, they sometimes it
Right.
was because she couldn't leave, or he just took the responsibility of the family. I'm not gonna leave. But I've seen people go through hell and high water, and then 30, 40 years later, they still together. But when the truth be told, they went through 15 years of just headache and stress. But at the end, it turned out better for them. And then I've seen some leave after 7 years, 5, 6 years of a relationship, and they're done. And for the next 15, 20 years, they jumping around trying to find something close to what they already had. You
Right.
know, I've seen on both ends. I've seen on both ends.
Yeah, you said something a few minutes ago, man. It was really important just then. You said that, I think sometimes when they go for years and they found it really, later on, it ends up being like really, really good because it went through so much. I love
Right.
seeing with people when they post stuff like, "Hey, we've been through a lot together." Not only them to know, and they got through it together, man.
Mhm.
That right there, and when they're the only ones that know what they went through, and how now it may be like a breaking point, but now they're back at it, and then now they reestablish a little, and then the bond is stronger. That's
Mhm.
different. That's
It's different.
that's that's different, right? And I don't want anyone to be like that. But just sometimes it's a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all we're all work in progress. We're all looking for that love connection. We're all looking for someone to be there for us, good, bad, and indifferent. Every day is not going to be sunshine. There's going to be some a year or two that might just be terrible, but you're trying to figure out how to work through it. Everybody
That's the,
can't.
everybody can't, and that's the challenge, though. I think that nowadays, my opinion, I had a lot of women say that women back then, yeah, they couldn't stay because they couldn't afford it. And to be honest with you, that was the truth. They couldn't afford to leave their man back then.
Right.
Now
Right.
women can. I feel like though the problem is that they quickly to do it. They don't want to work through anything, and they're quick leave something ain't right just like that, which I call this conditional love. You
Hmm.
love him, you love him, you love him until he do the one
Oh,
thing
you
wrong.
pause.
You did one thing
Right.
wrong, you love him more, and you go just like that.
Right. And sometimes
So
now
I think that's the problem.
I've got to say this on behalf of some of the women. We say they do that one thing wrong, but a lot of times it was a whole bunch of ones. you know, a whole bunch of ones that
That's
added
true.
up to be 236.
Yeah,
And I'm saying the same thing on the man's end because the women don't sometimes they don't see the things that bother men. The thing that when he walks in the house and you don't say anything to him, or
hmm
everybody else gets taken care of but him. In his mind, that's that one thing, but she does it every other day, continuously. That's a cause.
continuously right.
That causes a problem for him. The same thing with the women. She feel like he's not doing this thing, he's not doing that thing. He may not think of
Right.
it as a good thing, but she's adding it up in her head. And then when she sees somebody else gets it, or she feels like that she should have that same thing, it makes her wants to leave as well. So,
hmm
I mean, things are different. There are some grandmothers and great grandmothers that just couldn't leave the relationship, so it turned out the way that it was. But there was also some that stayed, and they got to see that their kids grow up, and then their great grandkids, the great grandkids, and the husband and wife that put all that together is still together. But
hmm
it's hard to have that same kind of relationship when you had four kids, and I'm talking about men too. When you got four different baby mamas,
Yeah,
how can you bring your family together?
good point.
How are you going to bring your family together? And I've got to address the men first, is because I don't want to ever look like I'm bashing the women. So for us to get love, we got to realize, man, if you out here and you got four baby mamas, it's hard for you to get your kids together and they really respect who you are and all the different personalities from the different moms. All your kids are going to be slightly different because they got four different moms. And it's
Right.
the same with ladies when you got four different baby dads or two or three. It's different. It's just hard to kind of bring that family together sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Very, very good point. Real quick, I want to get to some of the comments real quick.
Yep.
Angela been rolling. Thank you, Angela, for tuning in. She said real lovers too busy loving to take pictures. I agree, definitely agree with that one.
Yep.
I definitely agree with that one. Um, only pics I want to post is them wedding pics. That's right. All right. Esther Cole said a good guy overall wants to do it right and eventually get married to the right person who gets him and meshes well with his life goals and passions. All right. She also okay. Next one was lack of communication is the thing that destroys relationships. Let him or her know what's bothering you before you're ready to throw it away. I definitely agree. And then Esther Cole said that as I get older, I wouldn't hide it or be quicker to post our relationship. I even like the idea when people pop out married. Yeah. Why, now,
I
why do
like
you
that.
say you? Why
I
you say
like that.
that, Miss Nicole? That you like when people pop up married because they kept the people out of their business and they just popped up and everybody like, oh, they got married.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think I think that's what she means is when you didn't see a whole bunch of pictures of someone dating and all of a sudden they're married, you might have saw one or two pictures and then all of a sudden they married. You're like, wow, that was quick. But they had been together for a couple of years or a whole year
hmm
before they, really kind of put it out there and let people see what was going on.
Yeah. Yep. And as the coach said that I wouldn't necessarily hide the relationship. However, as I get older, I wouldn't be quick to post him. I even agree with people who pop out married. Okay, that's the same one we read.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one you just read. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I want to go back to this with Angela Green, where she mentioned the lack of communication.
Yeah.
One, I think that's a very big thing. But the thing I'm starting to realize now, everybody has not been taught how to communicate because it depends on the household that you grew up in. If your parents didn't really communicate with you, they just fussed at you about something. Go do this, go do that. I need you to do. You just stupid. You ain't. I had. They don't know how to communicate. That's the only way they know how to communicate.
But they think they do. But they do because they're saying something. They think they're communicating. They're not communicating
Right.
effectively. But they think it's
Effectively.
communicating. Right. Yep.
So I've seen that in some kids. I've seen that where the mom is talking to the son. It's like, you just like your daddy. I swear to God, you doing it. You're not communicating to him. It's like, hey, look, the reason why I get on you about that is your dad and your dad's side of the family, or your mom, your grandmother, they would do this type stuff. He started drinking and carrying on. That's how he ended up like he was. That's why I'm getting on you about slipping and drinking alcohol. That's why I'm getting on you about. That's communication.
Right.
Not necessarily telling him that you just like your mama, you just like your daddy, you just like. That doesn't do anything for a child or an adult.
Or the,
And
right.
it's not communication, you just talking.
Now I gotta say this, man, because in my time of dating, I think I realized that when I ran into women, I didn't realize a lot of them don't even know this. Like they're thinking that because they met guys that didn't communicate at all, that they know how to communicate. And
Mhm.
when you start listening, I'm thinking like, no, you don't know how to communicate, because we don't realize that how much we learn from our parents,
Mhm.
things we've seen from our aunties, our grandmothers, our fathers, even men too. And it's really about things that we did or didn't have. But when you
Right.
get older, you have to start really looking at yourself and thinking like, could I, was I a product of, we all are a product of our environment, but we
Right.
never sit and question everything that we do, because you never realize that you may need some work. And I didn't realize how many women I ran into didn't realize that they don't need work because they're so busy, and the society always pointing at the men, that they don't think that they have problems, and they think they communicate because they're arguing or they're
Mhm.
getting it out, and don't realize that he just goes through that with his mama all the time. So he
Right.
finna shut down. Why? Because his mama tell him to shut up, don't say nothing, and now he finna shut up because that's what he used to doing,
Mhm.
or he used to shutting down. And when the female talks to him, because that's how his mother treated him, and now
Right.
you're doing the same thing, and people don't look at themselves. And I think that we all do need to look at
Right.
ourselves and think, and just try to think about it for a second. Like step outside of yourself and like, look at yourself and just think about it. And I think stuff might come a lot easier when you look at yourself in a way of say, you know what, maybe I could have did it differently.
Right. I think that's
Yeah.
on both ends because you've got some men the same way that, hey, their mom fussed at them all the time. And I'm saying their moms because a lot of kids grew up in a single parent household. The mom fussed at them about this, fussed at them about that. So when they grow up, they want to be the opposite, and they get in a relationship with a woman, and as soon as she start arguing, he ready to put hands on her because that's the only way he understood how to shut her up.
Yeah.
And then now he's going to get in trouble, or he's controlling her, but now you using force to keep her quiet or keep her from fussing back at you or telling you how she really feel because you putting hands on them. Some kids got hands put on them by their mom and dad when they grew up, and that's the only way they know how to communicate. So the way you grow up makes a major difference, and I think that that's why a lot of people, they want to change the way they are.
Hmm.
And some use education as that, but still don't
What do
understand
you
why
mean?
flat. There's some people that they grew up in the hood, they grew up around rough people. They go off to college, they go get a degree, and then they want a certain type man and certain type woman, but you
Hmm.
still got that hood in you that just because you went and got a degree didn't change who you were. Unless you go through some therapy, you still gonna have some of that same stuff in you. Because I know a lot of people that are making $150,000 a year, and you can't tell them nothing financially. But I can't tell that anything different about them than someone that's from the projects.
What
But
do you
and
mean?
they, huh?
What do you mean by that?
Because what I mean by that is just because even a man, like if he goes and gets some money and has a lot of money in the bank, he's doing well. He still mistreat women because he grew up with that mentality. He grew up always either womanizer, or he grew up in a violent surrounding. Just because he went and got a degree doesn't keep him from being violent if he doesn't get some help for that and realize, hey, you know what, I need some therapy from my past. I
Hmm.
think same thing go on with women. There's some women that go to college and get a degree, and now they want the kind of man they used to date it, or it might have been some good men, but it might not make the money they're making now. They want this other quality of man, and then they can't keep
Why
those
is
men.
that though?
They can't keep that man is because the same mentality they had before they got that degree, they still have that same mentality. It's a little hood. It's a little rough around the edge. Um, he may be the type that he go play golf. He might go play some tennis. He might want to go do certain things. He might still play ball with the fellas, but he know how to separate the two. And sometimes she don't. When she get hot, she still gonna go off. The same with the guy. He could be a millionaire from NFL or NBA, but he still got that hood mentality. When somebody make him mad, he still want to fight. Why you want to fight somebody when you making $20 million?
Right.
You know, so I'm saying it's the way you grow up really affects you unless you try to get some help for it. That's why when it says, trying to find love and connecting, you got to connect on all that. You got to talk about it, and then you can find some real love.
And I gotta say this too, because I think I understand some women to a certain extent, right? But I
Hmm.
think that when you go, let's say you go to school, something you never thought you could do for some people, they go to school, they get their degree, and they reach that plateau they wanted to reach. They're happy for themselves. They did it on their own. It's
Hmm.
empowering. It makes you feel good, give you confidence. And then sometimes they go, even with buying a house,
Hmm.
you did it by yourself. They build
Hmm.
confidence. So now you're at this point where you're building, you're feeling good about yourself. And I get it. You want to find somebody that's going to go up there with you.
Right.
I don't think nobody would choose anyone that's going down, especially when you feel like you're elevating up.
Right.
But that's one thing. But at the same time, what if you meet a dude? What if she meets a dude that's the same way? He'll be called arrogant
True. True.
because, but at the same time, that's what they want. And it's all about mindset. And I think that sometimes it's okay if you feel like that. You just have to know when to drop it. You have to
Right.
know, because if I get to know you at home, I don't want to get to know the CEO. I don't. You do that at work. That's your work. When you're at home, you're my wife. That's the position you got to play. Same
Right.
thing. When you with your kids, you're not the same person that you are with your kids that you are with your husband. It's a different part of you. And so
Right.
when people don't get that part,
Right.
finally got a degree. Most men with money don't care that a woman got a degree, only for the fact that he don't want his for she doesn't want him for his money. She want him because she loves him, and he want to know that I'm not a money cow for her. That's not what he signed up for. He want a
Right.
woman that's gonna actually love him. It's not about the money. So he don't care how many degrees you got. Most
Right.
men really, really don't. Only except for the fact that you're not gonna be a burden on him. That's
Right.
probably the only thing.
Right.
What would you say?
Um. No, I think there's some truth to what you're saying. Um. The reason why I'm hesitant is I'm trying to think through it. Most of the time, that's the part that a lot of women miss. Most men really don't care anything about the degree or anything that or the money that you make because 9 times out of 10 we really don't see the benefits of the money. You know what I mean? I mean,
Never thought about that. That's a good point.
yeah, we really don't see the benefits. Not saying that it's not helpful and it's not great and it might have us go into a nicer house or whatever the case may be, but if you're making 150,000 and he's making 90,000 or 80,000, it's not like he's going to see the extra of that money. But if he's making 150 and you're making 90, you're going to definitely see the benefits of that because you're going to want a nicer car. He may buy that car. You might be doing more trips and the whole nine. It seems like he's putting more in and doing a lot more, and he's happy for it, because he's being man of the house. But it doesn't work the same way when it's the other way around. It's somebody made a statement one time, and it may not always be true for every woman or every relationship. A man really wants to make money to get to 150,000, whatever he gets to take care of his family, make sure he got life insurance, make sure he's got this, and he's got cars for the kids, and he's got some money in the bank, and they can do stuff for the family. A lot of women, when they get that degree, they're looking at, I'm going to be able to take care of myself and travel and have a nice lifestyle. They don't really go, you know what? I wish I could find a man, even if he makes less than me, we're going to both have a great lifestyle together. And we're going to be able to take trips and the whole nine because she is going to be coming out of her money. There are some women that do that, but a lot of women don't look at it like that. They don't want to date anybody lower than them as far as income. So that's the
So
thing.
okay,
It should be, to me, it's a team. It's a
here's the
team.
thing though. When you get that degree and you feel good about yourself, if it's a woman,
Mhm.
when you didn't have the degree, were you the same person? Here. meaning
Right.
that your drive, your ambition, what you want to do, it still comes from here. So as you
Right.
meet a guy at that point, he might not be there at that particular time, but it
Hmm.
don't mean that he can't get to that part.
Right.
Here's the problem: is the men that already arrived there. When the Bible says he designed a wife, she's supposed to be his help. There's nothing for her to help him do if you already arrived where he wanted to arrive to his goal. So
Hmm.
now when he's there, he had the same mentality she does. Look what I done by myself. I didn't
Hmm.
have a woman. It's like she didn't have a man.
Hmm.
Now I'm probably 1% of I have the car. I have the
Hmm.
houses bigger than the most guys will have. And I can provide, take out the fancy dinners. I can
Right.
pick and choose who I want. That guy right there can really pick and choose who he wants, especially if he can prove to that woman he's more than a provider. Like he has well more than enough money. He
Right.
can get almost any woman he wants. At
I
least
mean,
that's
that's
how I see
true.
it.
That's true. But even when he has that kind of money, he still wants love. At the end of the
He
day,
still wants love at the end of the
he
day.
still, at
Exactly
the end of the
right.
day, he still wants love. And I
It's
think
very simple.
right. And I think that's the thing with you know, that's why we kind of had this show. There're going to be some squabbles and disagreements, but at the end of the day, if you want someone that's in your corner, we've got to figure out this whole money issue.
Mhm.
Can we come together and make this money and let's work it out that hey, this is for us and the family. Now, I think most men we got to figure out how to make sure we keep that drive going.
Right.
You know, to let her know, hey, I'm here with you. I want to make the money and we do whatever and we can grow together. But when we look at statistics, it's the average income is still $45,000 to $50,000, and the household income from females is about the same or a little less. So we're all on the same page. We just got to get on the same page and not let social media run our head up. That's all.
Right. Now you said something a few minutes ago, man. It was really good. You said something
And
about.
my lights went out.
By the
So
way, y'all. Okay, you're fine. Actually, it still look cool.
okay.
By the way, y'all, if anyone want to come in, we'll invite you in the room. You just have to click on the link. So we're just talking, but again, it's about the dating show. But we're just gonna keep it moving for right now. Um, but no, I think that is the difference. We don't care that she's successful and stuff like that. But I do think that some women, their mindset, will not be able to drop their boss chick type of attitude because there's no different from a man being a boss at work and see he running everything. He coming home thinking he gonna run the same shit at home. No, dude, you the husband. Change position, change hats, just like you do when you're the father, just like you doing with your boys, just like you
Hmm.
doing with her girls.
Hmm.
Change hats. You now be playing a different position. But when you're at home, play your position. As a husband, she need to play the wife. Forget the boss chick. Forget he the boss dude. You got to
Hmm.
come together and be humble because that person supposed to know the true essence of who you are.
Hmm.
Not who the world knows, but when you are you, just being you all day. So
Right.
people can just drop that, man. That's the problem, I think.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Miss Angela said something too.
Oh, which
Uh,
one?
she said, I've got my degree.
Okay, Angela.
Yeah. See if you can pull that one up when she says, I got my
Okay.
degree.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to let you read it. My bad.
You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay. I've got my degree to be a partner and I'm a helpmate or helpmeet, but it's five women to every man. So I got to have me. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You guys got more options. Well, here's the thing, Miss Angela. If that is true, not so much in your case, we have more options, but some women today don't act like that.
Mhm.
So there's some men that really interested in certain women, and they're turning those men down because it's not the caliber of man that they think they're supposed to have. You know what I mean? I mean, does that make sense? What I'm saying? Or I need to explain a little bit.
I think what you're saying makes sense. I'm gonna say what she was gonna say.
Okay, okay. So my thing is this: um, there are some people that have a degree or don't have a degree, and the degree is not that big of a deal. They may have a degree in sociology. I'm just using that as a term. I don't know what most sociologists get paid. And she may be making 30,000, 40,000, $50,000, or a teacher making 30,000, 40,000, whatever the case may be. And there is a man that he may either have a cleaning business or he works for a company making the exact same money that she's making, but she's not interested in that particular man because of what he does for a living. And so they think they're supposed to have a different type caliber man because this man and this dude may be 5'7", 5'8", and he might got a little weight on him, but he carry himself okay. Decent guy, but some of the women do not want that particular guy. And from a male perspective, we see you the same way we see him. So y'all on the same page, but a lot of women, they don't see that.
But let's be honest though, because I try to play devil advocate, man. Really think about it. I still get it, because why would you not want something if you're moving up? But I think that I think we all. But I just think that you have to be. You just can't apply one rule to everything,
Right.
because you just never know. You just have to be open, because again, everywhere, every choice, every bad decision or bad relationship that we did, we made that decision. So it's not like we make good decisions all the time anyway. So
Right.
you might well just like think out of the box. You know what? I'll just do it just to see. I don't think so, but I'm just gonna stay neutral because you just never know.
Right. I get it. I get it. We got all off the subject, but we were having a great time. Let's see what we got here. Yes, I think it gives a couple of chance to get to know each other with outside criticism or influences. Some people can be messy. True.
Yep, definitely.
True. I think that's what this is about. Let's take time to get to know someone and see if it's a fit. Now, I gotta admit this too. I get how with some ladies and men too. When we start getting to a certain age, we don't want to waste our time. Their ladies are in their 30s and 40s, and they're like, I don't have time to spend 2, 3 years getting to know this man and trying to build something with him if he ain't already there. I get it. But by the time you do that for 6 months or a year, or 6 months or 3 months, whether you slept with this man or not, now you by the end of the year, you've already gone through 3 or 4 men, and you right back next year at the same place you were before, going through another set of 3 or 4 men, trying to find that right man. And sometimes that right man is there. Y'all just got to work together to build something.
Right.
And the same for men. We can't be looking for somebody that looks like a video vixen chick, but we want a Christian at the same time. You know what I mean? She's wearing the short skirt and the whole nine. That's not the look. That's not the wifey material that you need in your life. You need someone. Everybody's different, but you need someone that when you come home, she's either got something already cooked, or y'all have discussed what you're gonna cook together that night. Somebody that's gonna take care of certain things for you that you're very bad at. That's the teamwork. You're gonna go change the oil in the car when it needs it. You might put gas in the car out of your pocket or the family bill account. However you need to do it. Those are certain little things that women look forward to that men need to do.
I was gonna say this real quick, man. Some of them a lot of stuff in the bud to make relationships work. I think everything that you want, give up something that's equivalent to that to the other side. That'll stop a whole lot of shit.
Very true.
That'll stop a whole lot of
Yeah,
shit.
I mean,
Really, because if you want this type of treatment, you want name what it is. You want you want him to get your nails done. Okay, what's equivalent to that you gotta do for him? Then go to Poon. You want to get your hair done. Okay, what's equivalent you gotta do for him? If you don't look at it that way, it's gonna be one-sided. When things are one-sided, it only goes one way. That's when things go wrong, because it's only about one person. I just think nowadays the way women build relationships is they think it's all about them and don't realize, no, we are men, we're human too. We got to be happy too, not just you, because
Right.
it's a partnership. We both got to be happy. But you find out the most time we're happy, but women don't get, man. We put that stuff right back. We give it right back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about really Trump wants to do in the beginning. It's really like, if you give it to us, we'll give it back. If it's the right, what I'm going to say is, if it's the right dude, because women gave it to the wrong dude. So some women think, nah, I tried that. No, you tried it with the wrong dude.
Right.
So,
Right. I mean, I think, and that's what happens sometimes. We get involved with the wrong person, and we kind of know it because either our energy, like, oh my God, we had such a great connection, we vibe, and then it runs its course in a matter of 3 or 4 months, and then it dies out. So it's got to be more to it than that. I hear you, Miss Angela. She said I'm gonna be dressed like a video vixen while cooking. Yes.
hey,
Here's the thing.
hey.
That's the thing. Those are the kind of things that women don't realize men have in the back of their mind. They may not always say it
Hmm.
because they know the person that they're dealing with.
Right.
But every man, not most men, we want something like that. We're not saying every day. We're not saying all the time. But when you do those little surprise things for that man, it's equivalent to getting your nails done. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If he throws you, $50 or $100 to go get your nails done, or $60, yeah, he would love for just to know that. Okay, I know she gonna hook me up later this week. You know what I'm saying? It just puts a smile on his face when he goes outside and he's cutting the grass and he's doing stuff around the house. And even if it's not that same day, all of a sudden you come in the house and you're like, yo, what's going on? And you push him on the bed and you just like, okay, just relax a minute. That man's smiling. He gonna go find us some more grass to cut. Those are the things,
Exactly.
those are the things that people that are looking for relationships don't do. They don't realize that, and don't just start doing it to get the man and then stop. It's the same with the guy. Now, if you're not going to be able to afford to get her nails done on a regular basis, you might need to tell her that. Say, look, now, about every 3 weeks, I mean, about, every couple of months, I'm going to throw $100 on the counter so you can go get your nails and stuff done. I'm not going to be able to do it every weekend or every week. Not that I don't have the money, but I'd rather take this money. And you know what? Your car need an oil change. So I'm going to take care of this. Or I know we need to get some more lights or ceiling fans or something like that. I'm gonna put this money and go get a ceiling fan next week or whatever the case may be. Those are other things that men like doing to take care of his household and his woman. And sometimes it's not money. I know some men that do not have a lot of money, but they're handy. They're changing the starter on your car. He knows how to get a new battery put in. He knows how to do the oil change at the house. All this stuff costs money, and he's taking care of it because he's got that skill set
I'm
without
not. They ain't in
spending.
style no more, Houston. They out of style. They not in style no more, man.
It might not be in style anymore, but that's why marriage is out of style right now.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
why it's
Right.
out of
Right.
style right now because
Right.
some men that have those skills to do certain things, the women aren't looking at that as a plus. They're not looking at it as a plus.
Why is that though? I think because they're looking at lifestyle. I think women nowadays they're looking for lifestyle. That's why they always talk about vacations. They're looking
Mhm.
for lifestyle so they can show on social media. They're more concerned with lifestyle than they are actually being loved, and that's why
Well,
they keep falling to the same cycle.
but you know what? And I always play devil's advocate because you got the same thing with men. You got some men that all they really want to do is take them to dinner one time and they expecting to get some. They want to be able to come over there in the middle of the night when they want to. They don't want to take care of no kind of responsibilities. I'm not saying your major bills, but
Hmm.
daggone, you could at least wash your car, put some armor all on the tires.
Hmm.
You could take her car and y'all riding together
Hmm.
and you driving her car and you see that it's on a quarter of a tank and you got a little money, you might can just throw $30 in the tank. That goes a long ways. So it goes both ways.
Hmm. Right. It
It
does.
goes
It
both ways.
definitely
It
does.
goes both ways.
Yeah. It
So,
definitely does.
that's the thing that I think that is missing. Yeah, I think God is missing out of a lot of it. But the reason why I don't use that, even with me being a Christian man, I try to keep it to a certain limit, is
Hmm.
because when people start throwing the name God, God this, God that, but you got four baby mamas or you got three baby daddies, and now you talking about you need this Christian type man. I believe you and understand it, but we haven't done anything Christian up to this point. But now we want all this. We want all this. So now we got to be on the same page. Okay, now let's get our life together. I've done it wrong for so long. Let's figure out how we can do it a different way. Now that don't mean
Hmm.
that you're gonna cut everything out and not do anything till you married. But let's just make some better choices, even from a man's standpoint. I can't I can't have three different women running around here and then somebody get pregnant. You know what I mean? And then I'm still gonna keep the other two, just not mention it to this one. That's crazy. We got to stop that.
Right. This is why it's good for men to work because what it said, or out of mind is their workplace. The more we work, the less we stay in trouble. I hate to say that, but um, that's why it's good for us to always have something to do.
Right.
Because if you don't have nothing to do, you will find something to do.
You'll find something
Um,
to do. Now, let me say
yeah.
this, and I'm just going, me, I like being devil's advocate. They're not all cases. So, ladies, when I say this, I'm not talking about all ladies because I'm saying the same thing about all men. There have been cases of a man really truly believe in working, and he may have a job. He's working 10-hour shifts. He come home, change, eat a little something, and take right back off and go work another job 4 or 5 hours to make sure to give her that lifestyle that she wants. And she still have an issue and a problem. He never do anything with us. He's always busy. He just so that's why I end up finding somebody else because he never spent no time. But he's taking care of he's spending time making money, but that's not enough. Now then if he takes only the 8 hour job, now he home too much. Now he's not he ain't doing it all that he can do. It's like you can't win for losing. So that's the thing that's puzzling a lot of men, and that's why things are shifting. And that's why we started this show. There's got to be a way to find that love connection because men aren't happy, and there's a lot of women that are not happy. But we got to sit down and go, how can we come to a happy medium? That might need to be the discussion on the first date or two. Okay, look, we might not become a couple, but what is it that you're looking for? Let me tell you what I'm looking for. And are we able to figure out how to work this thing together? Now, if it doesn't work out, we ain't got to be mad at each other. We tried to date for a few months and we just couldn't figure this thing out and we move on.
Well, okay, so let's discuss what you just said about what you're looking for, because I feel like sometimes I'm talking to people, I do believe in. Now I'm trying to really say, are you saying the base of what I'm saying like I'm looking for to get married again, but I don't try to go into detail every single thing because I think that the, to be real, when women tell us things as men, some men can really try to cater and tailor every single thing exactly how she said it, and it might
Mm-hmm.
not be us, but we
Mm-hmm.
doing it to get the job. We're doing it because we want you. Then after we get married, we're not that no more because now we got you. We just did it just to get you. So
Which
I
is
always
wrong.
think it's a line between. You said one that is wrong.
That's wrong.
Yeah, it is right, right. But I'm saying that's how you know some men do it.
Right.
So I do believe like don't tell a person exactly like every single thing you want to achieve, but just being general. Like, well, I'm gonna settle down again, and
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes the dating people put too much out in the beginning,
Right.
and it need to be in phases. There's a conversation one tonight,
Mm-hmm.
next night conversation two,
Mm-hmm.
three, build from there. And I realize a lot of them they have a time frame. You ain't doing this by a certain time, and which means you're getting in your way. You're controlling the narrative instead of just letting it be what it's gonna be. And don't even worry about if the person call you back tonight, tomorrow, or the next day. Like he might call you back next week. So what?
Right.
So what? I mean, don't really. It's not really serious from day one, and just let it play out.
Right. Right. Nicole, okay, let's see. Work life balance is tricky without the right
Yep,
partner. This is true.
definitely.
This is true. Work life
Go.
balance is extremely tricky. Um, it's got to be some understanding there, but at the same time, I understand it from a woman's perspective because if she's got bills to take care of, kids to take care of, a car note, house, the whole nine, she may not have a lot of time. And when she get home, she may not feel like cooking.
Right.
She may not feel like washing clothes right now. She want to take her clothes off, put her moo on, and just chill. Take a shower and just chill. Now, and we as men, we have to be understanding of look. That don't mean I need to go in there and try to jump her bones, but I know she just got off work. I know she tired. But there need to be some discussion how we gonna figure this thing out. I may try to work an extra shift to do this, that, and the other, or create my business, but I still got to find that room, in the relationship or in the marriage. You got to figure that thing out. So
Right.
but it goes right back to some of the first statements that were made: communication,
Communication.
communication,
Yep.
communication.
Yep.
All right, I think we've had a pretty good show. I mean, it,
Yeah.
it went off the scripted path, but I think we're
Yeah.
trying to lay the foundation to let people know, hey, we're going to have some open discussions, but we do want to bring people on board that want to talk about what they're looking for.
hmm
And then hopefully somebody out of the 40 something thousand people, and it's growing every week, somebody should be able to find some matches.
Yep. We're gonna get it. We're gonna be popping in here. Everyone. We're gonna find somebody that's gonna get married one day.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Let's go. So let's go. All right, Houston. It was good. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We'll be coming up with a lot of other stuff. Love y'all. Peace. We'll see y'all next time.